Hi there, it's Jana Eubank. I'm back to share with you the second layout that I've created with the November Be Merry Craft with Heart subscription kit by Close to My Heart. Now, if you are interested in ordering these or finding out more information about these, you can check the Close to My Heart website or contact your local Close to My Heart consultant. These pages come with the two pre-designed layouts per month, two pre-designed two-page layouts per month, and they come with the pattern paper, die cuts, and stickers, as well as sheet protectors for those two layouts. Now, they also come with a diagram and directions of how to put those pre-designed layouts together, and of course you can follow that exactly, or you can add your own things to it to make it your own, or you can actually dissect those pieces and rework them to create a design that is unique to you. I'm following the diagram almost exactly this month because I really love what they had, and it worked with my photos perfectly, so I'm just having fun putting them together. This particular design has a pre-printed border as well as a patchwork of pattern paper. Some of those blocks in the background are pre-printed onto the background, and some of them are loose die cuts. Now, I really like this because this allows you to quickly and easily line up all those pieces and have that handcrafted look of all the patchwork pieces, but you also still get the dimension. It kind of fools your eye when you add those additional pieces that are loose, so that's great. Now, I used some black ink to ink up the die cuts that were loose, and then I also used a hole punch to add a hole in the top of the few shapes that are shaped like a tag. I did not add a hole to the top of the pre-printed tags that are on the page. Now, because I couldn't ink the edges of the pieces that were already pre-printed on the background, I decided to unify all of them by adding black outlining just with a pen. Another fun option would be to run all these through your sewing machine and add some black stitching or white stitching to the edge of all these blocks. But I didn't have the patience for that today, but it would look really cute. The pre-designed layout shows 4 photos, and I am using 3 photos today, so I will make a few slight adjustments to the design to fit my 3 photos. I matted them with black cardstock, and you can see that I used the pre-punched scallop piece for the main photo just to kind of call more attention to that. They have these sticker pieces that go on the layout as well, and I'm going to follow the diagram and put the poinsettias at the top of the pre-printed journal tags, but I'm using a bit of foam squares from my stash to give those some dimension and pop those up a bit. They had these 2 washi shaped pieces or stickers, and on the diagram they layered those together on a single photo. I opted to separate them and use them on my 2 smaller photos, and I really love that. And I love that they're 2 different colors. I am placing the sticker title right on top of the bottom of my main photo there. And then I'm going to start veering off in my own direction. You can see there's a little bit of a space to the right of those 3x4 photos, and that's because on the diagram they had larger photos and they covered that area. To solve the problem of having an open space, I decided to bring in some Cricut die cuts. These pine trees and this snowman are from the You Are Here Cricut cartridge, and I've already pre-cut all of the pieces and I'm just assembling them here for you on camera so that you can see how fun and how easy they are to put together. I love layered die cuts like this, and I really enjoy the process of putting them together. It's just a lot of fun. So this cute little snowman girl has a red carrot nose, and then she has this red snow hat, and we finish her off with a green flower to adorn her hat. Of course, you could leave the flower off if you want that to be a boy snowman. I also cut out this white snowflake from the You Are Here cartridge, and I'm going to place that in that black block at the top of the page. I placed the 25 circular black sticker to the right of the snowman, and then I'm going to move the title a little bit and add this greenery sticker to the left of the title. To add a little bit of dimension to that greenery sprig, I am tying a bit of white twine around it and just tying it in a bow so it looks like the bow is holding those sprigs together. And then I'll place my title back into position, layering on top of the greenery sprig. The next thing I do is pull in some of the thin cuts dies. I have that square at the bottom left, and I thought it'd be a fun spot to put a red heart. I also decided to die cut out one of the stitched circles in red cardstock, and I'm going to mat the black 25 sticker with that red die cut circle. I also had a bit of vellum in my stash, and I thought I would just use this little scrap and die cut a few circles using the stitched circle dies, and I use those to layer behind the snowflake and the heart in a few moments, and you'll see what I do there. I love using vellum on a page. It just adds sort of that ethereal, I don't know, layer. It's a little dreamy and just adds a bit more depth to a project. So there I go. I get the 25 in place on top of the red cardstock die cut, and I pop that up with a bit of foam square. For a moment, I thought I'd move that snowflake to the green tag just to space it out from the poinsettia stickers, but I do end up putting it back on that black block. I put the circle and the heart in the lower left corner, and I do pop up the heart with some foam squares. Now these two little red heart die cuts are from the kit, and I decided to place them to the right of the title. That just distributes the red color around the page a little bit. I wanted the snowflake to also have a pop of red, so I grabbed a red button from my stash, and for a minute I thought I'd use a vellum circle behind the button, but I ended up leaving it. I really liked how that looked by itself. And instead of tying twine in the button, I did just add a black dot from the black and white dots. I just have so much twine going on already in all the tags that I thought that would be something different. Now I also used the Flower Market Cricut cartridge to cut out a few sets of holly leaves. I cut them out in dark and light green cardstock, and I'm just assembling them here. And I've decided to kind of flank or bookend the page by placing one on either side at the bottom. So I have one sprig to the right of the 25 circle, and then one sprig adorning that heart on the left page. There was this large space below my title, and I thought I might use that to do journaling, but I realized that I really didn't have a lot to say that I couldn't say in those two tags already, so I just decided to make my title larger by extending it. So I cut out the red ampersand from a phrase on the Flower Market cartridge, and then the word bright comes from the alphabet that's included on the Flower Market cartridge. So my title reads Be Merry and Bright. I bring back the black and white dots to add some dimensional details to the snowman, and then I use the gold glitter gems to add some dimensional flower centers to the two poinsettia stickers. Alright, I turned off the camera thinking I was completely done with this page, and by now I should know better, because what happens is I look at it sitting on my desk and I decide, you know what, it needs a little here, it needs a little there, and I should learn to just turn my camera back on. So I apologize for not filming these final details, but I did want to come back and explain them to you. Now this left page felt a little off for some reason. I couldn't figure it out. I felt like I needed something in this upper right corner. And what I decided to do was add some more black. And the thing I noticed was that I had black enamel dots over here on the snowflake and on the snowman, but I didn't have any on the on the left-hand page. So I just added two of the black dots up here in the left corner to just kind of act as nail heads and pin that piece down. And also it just adds a bit of shine and balances out the enamel dots or the black dots on both sides of the page. The next thing I wanted to change was this circular snowflake piece. Now the circular piece is very symmetrical, and it felt a little odd to be centered on this oblong rectangular black piece. So what I decided to do was move it down to the bottom right corner and add another smaller snowflake piece to the top left corner, just feel like falling snow. So I cut another vellum circle using the stitched circle dies. And then I punched a snowflake using a punch from my stash. This one's by Martha Stewart. To mimic the red button with the black dot on top, I just punched a red cardstock circle and added the black dot. I then wanted it to feel a little more magical, like falling snow, so I added the sparkles and a bitty sparkle just right here in a little cluster. And then to repeat that around the page, I added some more sparkles here by the snowman and over here by the title. The next thing I did was create some greenery for my floral pieces that I have going on around the page. And how I did that was with the decorative border die set. I cut this several times out of green cardstock and then just snipped it into pieces. So you can see I have 2 pieces here, 2 pieces down here in this holly. I added 3 little sprigs to this greenery sticker, then 2 here to this poinsettia, and 1 to this heart down here. Also before I had 2 red hearts right here, so I only had hearts on this left side page. Now as I balanced the black dots, I also wanted to balance the hearts, so I decided to create some heart clusters around the page. I pulled these 2 hearts off, and then I added a heart cluster here and a heart cluster here. This one felt a little bare to me, or a little flat, so I cut a smaller stitched heart and layered it on top just to give that a bit more dimension. And then I repeated that same heart up here in this cluster. I added a small heart here and then pulled one of the heart punch outs up here to have the 3. And then I did that again over here. I cut a small stitched heart here and then pulled one of these die pieces over here. The last thing I did was just to tack down this little string with a staple. So those are the final details of this November Craft with Heart kit. I will post close-up shots of this at the end of the video, but I will also put them on my blog at janayoubank.com if you'd like to pin them or save them for future reference. Again, this is the Close to My Heart November Craft with Heart kit. I have the other layout either coming up shortly, or I've already posted it on my YouTube channel if you'd like to see that. And thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again soon.